The evolving landscape of cybersecurity. Threats and threat actors in today's interconnected digital world, cybersecurity threats have become increasingly sophisticated and pervasive, posing significant risks to individuals, organizations, and nations alike. Understanding the complex landscape of these threats and the actors behind them is crucial for developing effective defense strategies and maintaining digital resilience. State-sponsored threat actors. Among the most sophisticated and well-resourced threat actors are state-sponsored groups, often referred to as Advanced Persistent Threats, APTs. These groups operate with the backing of national governments, pursuing objectives that align with their sponsors' strategic interests. Their activities typically focus on espionage, intellectual property theft, and infrastructure disruption. State-sponsored actors are known for their patience and persistence, often maintaining long-term access to compromised networks while carefully extracting sensitive information. They frequently employ custom-developed malware and zero-day exploits, demonstrating technical capabilities that surpass those of most other threat actors. Notable examples include APT-28, Fancy Bear, and APT-29, Cozy Bear, groups that have been linked to high-profile campaigns targeting government institutions, defense contractors, and critical infrastructure. Cyber criminal organizations. The cybercrime landscape has evolved from individual hackers operating independently to sophisticated criminal enterprises functioning like traditional businesses. These organizations often specialize in specific types of cyber attacks, such as ransomware operations, banking trojans, or credit card theft. They may maintain professional development teams, customer service departments for ransom negotiations, and even affiliate programs that allow other criminals to use their tools and infrastructure for a share of the profits. Ransomware groups represent a particularly concerning subset of cybercriminal organizations. These groups have adopted increasingly aggressive tactics, combining data encryption with theft and extortion. The rise of ransomware as a service, RAS, has lowered the barrier to entry for aspiring cyber criminals, leading to a proliferation of attacks against organizations of all sizes. Groups like Conti, Revil, and DarkSide have demonstrated the potential for ransomware attacks to cause widespread disruption, as evidenced by incidents affecting critical infrastructure and supply chains. Hacktivists and ideologically motivated actors. Hacktivism represents a distinct category of threat actors motivated by political, social, or ideological goals rather than financial gain. These groups often employ tactics such as distributed denial of service, DDoS attacks, website defacement, and data leaks to draw attention to their causes or embarrass their targets. While historically associated with groups like Anonymous, modern hacktivist operations have become more sophisticated and sometimes blur the line between activism and state-sponsored activities. The rise of hybrid threat actors who combine hacktivist messaging with state-sponsored capabilities has complicated the attribution and response to these incidents. Some groups may operate under the guise of hacktivism while actually serving state interests, making it difficult for defenders to determine appropriate countermeasures. Insider threats. One of the most challenging aspects of cybersecurity is addressing insider threats. Individuals within an organization who have legitimate access to systems and data, but may misuse of that access for personal gain or to cause harm. Insider threats can be malicious actors deliberately causing damage or negligent employees who unknowingly create security vulnerabilities through poor security practices. The insider threat problem has been exacerbated by the rise of remote work and the increasing complexity of organizational IT environments. Employees accessing corporate resources from personal devices or through unsecured networks create new attack vectors that traditional security measures may not adequately address. Additionally, the growing market for corporate data and access credentials has created financial incentives for employees to misuse their privileges. Emerging threats and attack vectors. The threat landscape continues to evolve with technological advancement. The emergence of artificial intelligence and machine learning has created new opportunities for both attackers and defenders. AI-powered attacks can automate the discovery of vulnerabilities, generate convincing phishing content, and adapt to defensive measures in real time. Deepfake technology has enabled more sophisticated social engineering attacks, while AI language models can be used to generate convincing spear-phishing emails at scale. Internet of Things, IoT devices, represent another expanding attack surface. The rapid proliferation of connected devices, often deployed with minimal security controls, has created vast networks of potentially vulnerable endpoints. Botnets comprised of compromised IoT devices have been used to launch massive DDoS attacks, while vulnerable devices can serve as entry points into otherwise secure networks. Supply chain attacks. Recent years have seen a rise in supply chain attacks where threat actors compromise trusted vendors or software providers to gain access to their customers' networks. The SolarWinds incident demonstrated the potential impact of such attacks, as compromised software updates were used to infiltrate numerous government agencies and private companies. Supply chain attacks are particularly concerning because they can bypass traditional security controls by exploiting trusted relationships between organizations. These attacks highlight the interconnected nature of modern IT systems and the need for organizations to consider security implications beyond their immediate network boundaries. The complexity of software supply chains, including open-source components and third-party services, creates numerous potential points of compromise that must be monitored and secured. Cryptocurrency and financial threats. The rise of cryptocurrency has introduced new dynamics to the cyber threat landscape. Cryptocurrency has become the preferred payment method for ransomware attacks due to its pseudonymous nature and the difficulty of tracing transactions. Additionally, cryptocurrency mining malware has emerged as a distinct threat, with attackers hijacking computing resources to mine digital currencies. Cryptocurrency exchanges and platforms have become attractive targets for cyber criminals due to the potential for significant financial gain. Attacks on these platforms can result in substantial losses and highlight the challenges of securing digital assets in an environment where transactions are irreversible and regulatory frameworks are still evolving. Defensive strategies and future considerations. Addressing these varied threats requires a comprehensive approach to cybersecurity that combines technical controls with organizational policies and user awareness. Zero Trust architecture has emerged as a promising framework for securing modern networks, operating on the principle that no user or system should be automatically trusted, regardless of their location or ownership. Organizations must also focus on building resilience into their systems and processes, acknowledging that some attacks will inevitably succeed. This includes maintaining robust backup systems, developing incident response plans, and regularly testing recovery procedures. Threat intelligence sharing and collaboration between organizations have become increasingly important as threats become more sophisticated and widespread. The role of regulation in cybersecurity continues to evolve, with new frameworks and requirements emerging to address emerging threats. Privacy regulations like GDPR and industry-specific standards create additional compliance obligations while potentially improving overall security posture. Looking ahead, the cybersecurity landscape will likely continue to evolve rapidly. The emergence of quantum computing poses both opportunities and challenges, potentially rendering current encryption methods obsolete, while enabling new forms of secure communication. The increasing integration of digital systems into critical infrastructure and daily life means that the potential impact of cyber attacks will continue to grow. Conclusion: the diversity and sophistication of cyber threats and threat actors presents significant challenges for organizations and security professionals. Success in defending against these threats requires continuous adaptation, investment in both technology and human capabilities, and a commitment to security as a fundamental aspect of organizational strategy. As the digital landscape continues to evolve, understanding and responding to emerging threats will remain crucial for maintaining security and resilience in an increasingly connected world. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel